discussion 5. We're all level 2.
Yay, level 2.
Yes, everybody leveled up last time. You got to fight. Your first dragon, a wormling dragon,
Yeah.
but it was a dragon.
Still kind of kicked their asses a little bit.
A double crit.
Oh,
Yeah.
I could have been, depending on how the setup for that went, I could have been a lot meaner.
It's true.
No,
We
you
got
said
lucky.
you gave her extra hit points, didn't you?
Just so she would last a little longer, yeah.
Nox kept on rolling
Ryan.
bad on the. Nox kept on rolling bad on the refreshed breath weapon, so we
Yes.
lucked out that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not uncommon. It's supposed to be that way.
It's the fact that the two major hand-to-hand fighters managed to crit their attacks and roll well on their damage.
Yeah. So you brought the dragon back to the tribe. You got rewarded, and then you. That words. Alexi tripped a trap, went down a fun slide and disappeared, and attempts to locate him were unsuccessful. And so there was, well, okay, we'll continue on this mission, and we'll have to find him later. And then
that was retconned a little bit. That we used a rope, went down. Dara went down the hole a little ways, couldn't see him, couldn't hear him, and so I could. Yeah, we'll continue searching for him later. We didn't just up and well, that sucks.
But
we will definitely have to find him.
But then you came back. You dropped off the dragon. You encountered a strange individual who was sort of in a tense meeting with the kobolds, and you agreed to take them along with you. And so now you've bedded down, and you are all, waking up rested and refreshed 8 hours later.
Okay. Yes, my apologies. So, Winter, I am sorry we forgot to cover this earlier. My name is Kashim. I am joined by...
Nice to meet you.
Yes, sorry, we had a rather stressful time just before we came to meet you. I am joined here by Miss Dara Tillman.
Did you forget my name? Tillman, yes.
Tillman. Miss Tibruli, don't worry about her last name, no one can say it anyways. Then there is Rael, and that over there in the corner is Chrysandria.
Winter nods her head to each. It is good to meet you then.
And the gnome pipes up, and I'm Erky Timbers.
Yes.
Well, they found me here. I didn't come here with them.
Yes, Mr. Timbers here. So, our purpose here today, we are here to find the rest of Mr. Timbers' adventuring party, as well as, get a good idea of what is going on in this place.
Well, that sounds like something that would be worth doing while I'm here. If you would not mind me coming along.
Your assistance, I believe, would be greatly appreciated.
Then I'll be happy to lend you my blade while we search this monstrosity.
I totally have another character in my head thinking, yeah, can you lend us your coin purse too?
Well, least it's not his current state character thinking, yeah, and then we'll get your soul.
Oh, good lord. What
He's only
business
done
did
it
you
once.
have with the kobold queen?
You were kind of basically. You basically sort of just strolled in as they gave you a wide berth and were trying to figure you out.
Pretty much the same as we did.
You know,
Yeah. Sorry, I completely missed the question, and I thought you were speaking with Nox.
Oh, no. That was in character to
Winter.
Winter. Now who's forgetting names?
Sorry, as I said, I completely missed the question.
Oh, business with the kobold queen.
Oh, unfortunately, I just was moving through this place, and the kobolds decided I shouldn't be. They asked me to speak with the queen, and the queen was quite agitated, I believe.
Makes sense. Dara finishes checking her blades, grabs out a little bit of breakfast. Seems to be about 7 a.m., I think. We should get a move on.
Tip nods as she gets up, waves her tail in greeting at Winter, and gets herself ready to roll.
Winter pushes herself up, pulls her pack on, and picks up her glaive. She's stayed armored all night. Winter moves over to the doorway and checks there hasn't been anything that snuck up and tried to cause a mischief, and then lights her own torch.
So, I mean, you check the door is clear. You peek outside, and there's a surprising amount of activity as kobolds are moving hither and thither and chittering excitedly in Draconic.
If anyone knows these kobolds' tongue, maybe we could hear what's going on.
The elf over there, but I'm guessing she needs her beauty sleep.
She seems to be... She is doing what she is doing.
Tip, is she alright?
She's fine. She's waking up. Chris listens and she shakes her head. It's kind of tough to try and figure out because it's all a bunch of voices together. But after a second, she's like, "They're talking about a raid."
We don't want to be here.
Sounds interesting.
Raiding someone else or raiding here?
Excuse me.
Hopefully
Possibly
someone
getting
else.
prepared. Possibly getting prepared to launch one.
Then we're kind of safe for now.
We should inquire whether they're pressing deeper into the fortress. We don't want to step on each other's toes.
Wise decision, yes.
We can go talk to their queen.
That's if she'll speak with us.
I am sure, if only just for a moment.
Kashim, after you.
Right then.
Nox, there is a reason why I said she lights a torch. Because
Oh,
Erky, you may want to stay here. Goblins and kobolds, or sorry, gnomes and kobolds.
Perhaps I should stay with him as well, as we did not have such a very good conversation last time either.
Perhaps so. Whoever wants to rest a little more. Wait.
does that work for you?
Let me just check. Yes, thank you.
I know, never split the party, but
This isn't a split. We're only separated by a small distance. Running distance, in fact.
and in a relatively safe area.
Don't you know you never split the party?
You approach the throne room and you see Uzrael flanked by her guards. They don't seem to really care too much. I mean, they acknowledge that you're there, but they seem at ease with your presence.
Lady Uzrael, it is good to see you this morning. I wish to once again thank you for your hospitality in this location.
She looks up at you and sort of draws herself back into a dignified posture and goes, "Good morning, and what is it that you want?"
I just want to we noticed that people were getting ready to go and perhaps looked like some sort of major advance on something. I just wanted to ensure that we were not going to get in your way.
She grins. "You have done damage to the goblins. We are taking advantage of that." She kind of points to the back end of the hall, which may or may not be beyond your sight. But if you can, there's a large gathering of kobolds back there. We go a different route. You go back the back way. You may cross paths, but you will not need to worry much.
We will do our best not to. Yes. Look to Dara.
Dara nods.
Very well.
Can I roll to see if she's actually telling the truth?
Give me an insight check. She seems on the level.
Alright, so I suggest we let them do their thing and we go do what we came here to do.
That is the plan.
Agreed.
Dara nods again and takes a step toward the back of the way they came.
Alright. Yeah. Kashim will go ahead and give Uzrael a bow and
Out of character question, real quick, Nox. Off the top of your head, do you recall how heavy gnomes are?
Do I recall what?
How heavy gnomes are?
You're gonna take weapon proficiency, gnome?
No, Tips has this idea of setting up Winter and Timbers as with a master blaster.
Gnomes are maybe 30 pounds, I think. Let me take a look. Let me take a look here, because they're not terribly.
No, not like dwarves. And Winter strikes me as a strength primary, strength and con. Yeah?
it's pretty heavy armor, but
I mean, you gotta get Redneck's permission for this first.
Sorry, I have completely blank. What question?
Would Winter be comfortable carrying around the gnome in kind of a
On his
No, you
shoulders.
you didn't play SOTOR with us. Master Blaster was a boss fight that it was a big droid and the little boss one. And they kind of stacked up.
I mean, originally that was from, what was it? Mad Max Beyond the
Mad
Thunderdome.
Max.
Yeah.
Thunderdome,
Ah,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, honestly, I don't. Winter would not be comfortable carrying around the gnome.
Gnome's base weight is 35 pounds, so anywhere from, high 30s, low 40s.
And given that he's been caged up for a few weeks, he's probably on the low side of that.
To be fair, we have that conversation and don't. Winter's not okay carrying.
It's whilst he may be 35 kilos, it's still 35 kilos. It's a fairly heavy weight.
No, pounds. Pounds. That's more like 17 kilos.
Still, it's a human character.
Yeah.
She's also your frontline defender, and having to
Yeah.
not only.
Well, at least we have a gender in character. Out of
For his part,
character.
Erky's like, I really would like to stretch my legs. I don't want to be a burden.
Literally.
Cannot say that I blame you.
Okay, so Tip Ruley idly mused about it, and both of the people suggested go, oh hell no. Copper.
So,
You
do you go
attempt more.
head back in the direction you went?
Ow. Dog.
Sure. Were we going to try out that key?
Well,
Or
we
are
don't
we
know what it
moving
goes
back to the location as before?
We have a. Yeah, sorry, the character doesn't.
We don't specifically know which way to advance, if I'm not mistaken. So,
Well, given
Trying
that
to keep-
Caracas and Erky were up to the north,
And
I would suggest that way.
just out of character, the path looked like it did continue on, and there were a couple of spots where we could use keys that were along the way.
And Erky does point out that they, the Hukrales were with him, and they were taken to some place, from what he's told, is down below.
So we need to find something that's a bit farther. Alright. I forget, did we look everywhere there was to go in the elite where we
No.
fought the dragon?
We didn't go through the other side of the supply room.
Maybe we should do that before we go.
Knox, will you zip us up there, or are we going the long way?
Sure.
That's assuming there's consensus
mean-
to go there.
Kashim
Did
definitely votes for let's finish off before we go anywhere new.
Okay, so you're gonna buy the only thing. There was a locked door along the way. Is that the only thing that you're
I picked it.
No, there wasn't. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in the room with the Oh, here, I'll just move you guys.
There was the locked door with the dragon on it.
The icy dragon door.
it's all about that dragon door.
Yeah, there was this locked door here with the dragon on it. I'm trying to remember if the
I'm
No,
going to
there
get out
wasn't.
of the poison fountain.
Yeah. Well, no,
No,
that's
that's
not the
the fire
poison fountain.
Oh.
This one?
Yeah,
That's
this was the locked door with the Let's see, that's room 326. Yeah, this is the relief carved stone door stands on the western wall. The carvings on the western door show skeletal dragons, and a draconic inscription on the door reads, "Rebuke the dead, open the way." And
Well,
within 5 feet of the door, the air is noticeably cooler.
we have the dragon key. Right, the one we got from Used Trail.
Want to try and open the door? I'm willing to fight whatever's in there within. If it is evil.
I mean, Tip can turn undead now.
It's equal chances, I suppose.
So can Erky.
Ah, yeah.
Well, there's surely a fight behind this door. I don't know what's behind the other.
Well, we can look here and then go look at the other place.
Be on guard. I don't like the feel of this one.
Right then.
So you're gonna leave it?
No. She steps forward with the key.
Alright. Kashim's gonna get his short bow ready.
As soon as Winter's out of the way.
Yeah. Can I ready an action? If I see anything hostile on the other side, I'll go ahead and shoot.
Alright, so you try the key on the door?
Try the key with the left hand, ready the rapier in the right. If anything even looks at me cross-eyed, I'm gonna swing at it. Or if, no, just dodge out of the way. Opening the door.
The key budget, the key doesn't. And you are attacked by a scythe trap.
Yep.
I thought we checked this a long time ago.
And you failed.
Damn.
Okay. I was prepared to dodge out of the way.
Well, let's see. I'm pretty sure an 11 misses.
An 11 does miss.
Yeah, so, yeah, there's a. Now that it has been sprung, there's a blade concealed in a slot in the ceiling 10 feet up. So the blade swings out and you are ready to dodge, and you just get your hand out of the way before the blade hits you. And then it automatically resets.
I am very not fond of this place. You're right over there.
She holds up her hands, turns him over, looks at both sides. I think so.
They're
I'm
both still there.
I'm no healer, but I seem to be intact. Check for anything else.
I had the better to take a good look. And I grasp her hand.
You gotta kiss it, make it better?
I am definitely kissing that hand.
It's
Unless
turning
she-
into a fist.
Unless she... Okay, I'll let go.
It'll go a little bit faster than he wanted.
Yeah, your hands look fine.
The hand kisser strikes.
Quite lively, in fact. I'll go back this way.
Oh, if Naira were there, she'd be making a comment about that.
Oh my god. Oh, that's been a while. Okay. Check the
What,
door
I
for
needed
any
to
more.
Needed to get a good close look. What are you saying?
Okay, go ahead and roll,
Perception?
Rye's gonna
yes.
whisper over to Kashim. I think when she hits you, that's a sign that she likes you. From a certain other person, you know, that she's into the whole leather whips thing.
Are you into crossbow bolts?
You don't find any other
That was in character.
traps, but you at least know where that one.
I dated a woman like that once. It did not go so well.
Now I know why Dara didn't do so well on her perception check.
Overhearing those two ninnies.
Tip calls Erky over.
I'm gonna try again to open the door. Being very wary of traps. So, like, kind of the equivalent of a defensive.
Okay.
Let's try again.
Okay. You turn the key again, and it's the trap reactivates, swings and misses. Once again, you try to turn the key. The key is not turning, but it is activating the trap.
Maybe if we wedge a rock up in. Oh.
It's not opening the door. All it's doing is the trap.
Well, there was the other door with dragon motif.
Maybe later.
Hold on one second.
I don't think a goblin would have gone through there with prisoners. And yes, Makashim, my hands are fine.
I can see that. They are nice. Quite fond of your hand.
Tip, you were calling Erky over?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Tip tells Erky the description reads something about turning the undead. I'm going to channel my divinity and use turn undead. Be ready in case I wake something up.
I step away to allow that to happen.
Would you prefer I use my channel undead? Or my turn undead? Because I can do that.
It would be harder for the blade to hit Erky. It only came down so far.
I'm not a fan of sending someone else to do what I'm not willing to do, but logistically it does make more sense for you to do it, Erky.
Can we, like, ready an action so that if the blade starts to move even the tiniest little bit, we pull Erky out of the way?
I'll increase his AC versus the attack if it happens. So he walks up to it and holds his holy symbol, and a yellow white light emanates from him, and it passes into the door. And the door glows a ghostly blue for a moment, and then silently swings open.
How about that?
Pull him out of the way. There's light over there.
Alright, 5 dusty sarcophagi, 3 to the north and 2 to the south, stand on end in this silent chamber. Each of the carved stone coffins resembles a noble, elf-like humanoid in ceremonial robes. An altar with images of dragons carved into its black obsidian is set in the center of the west wall. A single candle burns brightly on the altar. Next to the candle are a small whistle and a crystal flask.
Are there any other doors?
No.
Don't go in there just yet.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to. Our people aren't in here unless they're in this sarcophagi. And somehow that doesn't strike me as the goblin style. Shall we press on?
I would like to take a quick look, if that is okay. There might be something. I mean, besides the bones.
Yeah, assuming the bones don't try to kill you.
Plus, that candle had to be lit by something.
I don't like the looks of this place. It gives me the goosebumps.